Just left a meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu in D.C. Interesting discussion. I will discuss more tomorrow night on Timcast IRL Tim Pool, April 7th, 2025. That was the tweet, not a joke, not a troll, not out of context, just raw submission. 15 days before this conveniently timed encounter, the Israeli military annihilated 15 medical and humanitarian workers in Gaza. They were riding in clearly marked ambulances, emergency lights flashing, en route to help victims of earlier strikes near Rafah. Paramedics, civil defense, a UN staffer, all shot to pieces. Israel's official story? The vehicles were behaving suspiciously. The truth? A survivor's phone captured everything. Lights on, standard convoy protocol, no weapons, no militants. The footage forced the Israeli military to walk back its lie. No apologies. Just an oops. A mistaken account. And silence from the American media class. And that's when Tim Pool announced he had just met with Netanyahu. We don't know what was said. We don't know how long it lasted. We don't even know if there was a photo, but we do know this. Tim Pool walked into a room with one of the most powerful figures in the Middle East, fresh off a massacre, and chose not to speak for the dead. He could have asked about the medics. He could have asked why Israel lied. He could have challenged the propaganda, but he didn't. You don't get a meeting like that unless you're vetted, unless you're safe, unless you prove, and you'll ask exactly 0 uncomfortable questions. Did Tim ask about the hundreds of Palestinian children buried under rubble? Did he ask why Netanyahu lied to Congress in 2002 to help drag the U.S. into Iraq? Did he ask whether Trump prefers the front or back door when Daddy Ben comes over? Or did he do what every other approved mouthpiece does, nod, smile, thank the man for his time, and rush home to his studio to drop hints that something big is coming? Because here's what else was happening in Washington while Tim was tweeting about interesting discussions. This wasn't a casual visit. Netanyahu's April 2025 trip was a precision-calibrated diplomatic mission, hastily arranged after a call with Trump and Hungarian PM Viktor Orban. His wife came with him. Ron Dermer, Israel's hostage negotiator, came too. Meetings were locked in with U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, Trade Rep Jameson Greer, Middle East Envoy Steve Witkoff, and of course Donald Trump himself. The press conference with Trump? Quietly downgraded. No cameras in the East Room, no optics risk, because this wasn't a victory lap. This was triage. Israel was reeling from a 17% U.S. tariff. It was losing control of the hostage narrative. It was being filmed killing medics and called out by name in UN chambers. Netanyahu wasn't in D.C. to brainstorm. He was there to contain. So why Tim? Because Netanyahu doesn't do random. He doesn't hang out. He shows up when a deal's made, when the script is written, when the roles are cast. And Tim Pool, the fence-sitting, beanie-wearing, I'm just asking questions podcaster, was already speaking the lines. He didn't need a press badge or policy credential. He had the one qualification that matters in wartime, public relations. He won't ask the wrong questions. He'll nod along. He'll hint at something important. He'll burn the segment clock without ever touching the bodies. And that's exactly what they needed. If Ben Shapiro's fading, they need a new soft-spoken mouthpiece with just enough edge to fake dissidents, the kind who can nod through a meeting with a war criminal and come back home pretending it was all very normal. The tiny hat might be invisible, but it's already on. How long before Tim gets invited to speak at AIPAC? How long before he starts pushing shared values between Tel Aviv and Tennessee?